Well, I've been gone for a minute here, and tonight's program is gonna be a flamethrower. You have been warned. Well, folks, it has happened again. Yet another female who seemingly, allegedly, possibly held so much potential, seemed to have such a future. And boy, they jumped on the THOT train early. None other than Naomi Osaka, who took time away from a career in tennis so that she could go ahead and hop on the run-through rodeo with some aspiring rapper. And it really kind of just illustrates for us exactly what we're dealing with here. And I'm going to be dealing with a subject here tonight: why even so-called smart females thought it up in their 20s. She's only 26 years old. 26. Met this fella here when she was 22, 23. And already has thrown it all away. Going into her late 20s, you start to see that that's the template. Going into her late 20s, throws it away. Now, I'm not going to talk about Halle Bailey. I know some of you expect me to talk about her. I'm not going to talk about Halle Bailey because it seems that there is a dispute over whether or not she is actually pregnant. So right now, at this time, because there seems to be a dispute over that it seems like there's a rumor about it, but there's some dispute there. So until that is definitively confirmed to my satisfaction, I'm not going to address that one just yet, although who would be shocked or surprised at that one? But I want to talk about Naomi. All right, so what do you got here? You got one of the mixed chicks. Her mom is Asian. You got one of these mixed chicks. She was supposed to be the female Tiger Woods on so many levels, and you figured it was going to be safe. You got an Asian mom, and you figured to yourself it'd be safe, things would be okay, what could possibly go wrong? And boy, I'm telling you, it didn't take her very long at all. Now, did it? So let's go ahead and deal with a couple of things here first. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way here now. From none other here than People Magazine, they were dealing with this question here. Who is Naomi Osaka's boyfriend? Corday. Who is he? And there's not a whole lot to say there if you're going to be totally honest about it here. Say they've been romantically linked since 2019 and welcomed a baby girl in 2023. Yeah, he got you pregnant. He just didn't get you married. Tell me that you are trying to handcuff a chick without telling me that you're trying to handcuff her just in case this rap thing doesn't work out. It might be over between Naomi Osaka and her boyfriend Corday. The tennis star hinted at a breakup in October 2023 when she posted cryptic messages on X, formerly Twitter, and scrubbed her Instagram of photos with the rapper. I just want someone that will watch the sunset with me. But you didn't require anything. There's the whole point of it. What did you require of him? We'll get to that in a few moments. Her first date, his first date with Osaka, was at an LA Clippers game. Now, there's a point I want to bring up here. You take a look at him, he looks like a kid. And he's about the same age as her, so figure 3-4 years ago, he'd be about 22 years old. Looks like a kid. And there's a point. He's got that mama's boy mushroom on his head. There's a whole bunch of fellas out there right now. They got the mama's boy mushroom. What is up with that haircut? What's up with that hairstyle? That carrot top, mushroom thing on their heads. You got the mama's boy mushroom on their heads. So, folks, when you see this on a kid, when you see this on these fellas today, that's the mama's boy mushroom. Just remember, you're going to put this in charge of your family. You're going to put this in charge of your family here. Looking like Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. All right. He's got the mama's boy mushroom. So, yeah, she went for that. Said they went to an LA Clippers game for their first date in 2019, though they stayed quiet about it. You know why? because old boy was making it clear back then when he had some damn sense. Hey, I ain't really trying to claim you like that. So when he was taken to the Clippers game and he was enjoying some mixed chick crazy girl sex, his reptilian brain, such as it is, was trying to tell him, yeah, just leave it at this. And he couldn't bring himself to do that. So she hung in there for a few years. And next thing you know, he's telling himself, you know what, I think I can marry, I think I can have a baby with this chick because she's bugging me and hounding me. We're going to get to the fallacies of that here pretty soon. He's a rapper. Okay. Now, back when I was a kid, and I have to remind people here that I'm not a young man anymore. Might not be elderly, but I'm not a young man anymore. But when I was a kid, boy, I'm telling you, every father's nightmare was having his screwball ass daughter show up with some punk rocker with spiked hair. That's been replaced by the aspiring rapper. A fella who is trying to figure out what he's going to do. He's early in life. He's following a big trend and fad. His chances of making it in the longevity are pretty slim. But that's a father's worst nightmare, is that his daughter is going to start making permanent decisions based on her feelings. There was an Instagram post by a woman who said the problem with women is that we rely on our feelings, and the problem with relying on your feelings is that feelings lie. I thought that was a rather profound statement when this woman said that on Instagram, that the problem with women relying on their feelings is that sometimes feelings lie to you. Sometimes your feelings lie. You can't use those as a barometer. Feelings don't operate on logic. Corday is a Grammy-nominated rapper. Okay, let's go ahead and deal with that right quick. I'm going to hurt a lot of folks' feelings here tonight. Going to hurt a lot of feelings, but we got to do it. He's a Grammy-nominated rapper. People, that's symbolic. A Grammy nomination is symbolic. What can you do with a Grammy nomination? Please tell me the dollar value of a Grammy nomination. Not a Grammy, not even a Grammy win. And I would challenge you that there's any dollar value to a Grammy win. But a Grammy nomination. What's the dollar value? It's symbolic. First of all, the Grammys are no longer a barometer of success anymore. That damn thing has lost all of its luster and its value, if it ever actually had any to begin with. But to the extent that it did or does, that's what you're stuck with now. You have a symbolic thing that doesn't mean anything. You all tell me, who were the winners of the last 3 Grammys for best rapper of the last 3 Grammys? That's just how important and critical and crucial the Grammys are. If I ask you about him, you couldn't tell me who it was. Says that he collaborated with her. And by the way, there's a story right there. Talk about careers that are aspiring. No shade, but by the way, is that one ever going to get off the ground? And Young Thug, yikes. Told you. Yeah, we got her and Young Thug. What? Okay, the less said about that one, the better. The less said about that one, the better. Upon the release of his sophomore album, Bird's Eye View, Osaka praised him on Instagram, saying, quote, "Getting closer to someone and seeing how much love and dedication they put into their craft is truly aspiring." The artist commented on her post, writing in all caps, "I love you to death. You truly my ride or die Bonnie and Clyde, just way more fly. Can you all believe that this little dumbass gal fell for that? So let me get this straight. Your mama went through all that work to get you to take all those tennis lessons. And as soon as you got there, you don't come from a family that's anything like that at all. You are a square ball ass mixed Asian chick. Little Blasian chick. Square ball ass little Blasian chick. And you fell for this. This is what you fell for. You're going to tell yourself you're smart. You're going to tell yourself you're educated. You're going to tell yourself you're savvy. You're going to tell yourself you're fast and slick. And this is what you fell for. With your eyes wide open. Not on a crazy weekend, but after 3 or 4 years. This is what you fell for. Yeah. You see on your screen, that's exactly what she went for. You see her diction. Look it up. You take a look at her grammar, and then you take a look at his. Yeah, this is going on your feelings. Well, I'm a little square ass Blasian chick, and I need to get some of the shine that the little Nicki Minaj chicks get. I want some of that. I want some of that shine. I don't get any of that. I just feel square and I don't appreciate it. So I want some of what they get. Okay, now you're going to get all of it. In for a penny, in for a pound. Now you get all of it. It says Corday wrapped up a Euro tour in October 2022, marking the occasion by sharing posts and videos from the tour on Instagram. Well, so glad to see that they have been marking their tours on Instagram. So glad we got that available. That's nice. That's real good. Glad we don't have a problem with that because that could get real messy, couldn't it? By the way, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that real quick. I would love to see what their Instagram there looks like. Oh, wait a minute. Yikes. Because remember, she scrubbed her Instagram of him. That's just, by the way, that should tell you right there. That tells you how tight you guys' relationship is. You've known each other since 2019, 4 years. You've known each other for 4 years and obliterated each other on social media in a weekend. That right there should tell this little dumbass gal just how solid those 4 years were. See, I'm giving y'all some grown folks talk right now. If those 4 years were really that solid, you wouldn't sit up here and be obliterating each other in a damn weekend. If those 4 years were really that solid, if this garbage you were saying, if this bull crap really had any sort of gravity to it, it would take 4 years to break y'all up. If those previous 4 years had any weight to it. That's supposed to be a gut-wrenching experience. You two are supposed to be sitting up here tearing and clawing at it. It's supposed to be like tearing apart super glue to get you two away from each other. And it's like y'all two just sat here and said, man, I'm done. So I'm done too. Bye, heifer. Delete. Bye, you nigga. Delete, block. You're having babies with folk that are essentially an extended date. I've told y'all about how crazy mixed chicks are. Did he say mixed chicks are crazy? Mixed chicks are crazy.
And deal with it, nigga.
I said what I said. Mixed chicks are crazy. No shade. We love the little mixed chicks. We ain't hating on you, but I gotta read the mail. Niggas from the southern United States love sitting on big chrome. I should know I'm one of them. That ain't hating. It's just an anatomical numerical fact. It is what it is. And mixed chicks are crazy. It is what it is. It ain't shade. It's not hate. I'm just reading the mail. Jason, you from Louisiana, all y'all do is sit on 22-inch chrome wheels while I got 3 sets of them in the driveway. I'm going to call that hating. I got 3 sets of them in the damn driveway. Mixed chicks are nutty. All right. He's supportive of Osaka's mental health. Sir, if you are not a licensed clinician, there's no way you can support this little mixed chick's mental health. Osaka has been open about her mental health journey. Is that something similar to a weight loss journey? You know, folks, have you ever met a chick, much less a mixed chick, who ever finished her weight loss journey?
Cookie! Nom, 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 oh, nom, nom, nom,
I'm just wondering, have you ever met a mixed chick who actually have you ever met a female who actually completed her weight loss journey? Every time you turn around, they on a weight loss journey. They got their calorie counters. They're posting on Instagram. Shout out Lizzo. They got their green Slurpees and these green smoothies. Looks like toxic sludge. Has anybody ever met a chick who finished her weight loss journey? Because it's starting to look like Lord of the Rings out here. It's looking like the Iliad and the Odyssey. It just goes on and on. It's like Star Wars. It's just a saga that just keeps going. She started that bastard when she was 28. She's 48 and the saga continues. She's doing every diet known to man. Keto, carnivore, Mediterranean, Atlanta, South Beach, North Beach. Okay, now we got a new one. Mental health journey. Boy, I hope this one turns out better than the weight loss journey. Including the ways Corday has supported her when she's feeling overwhelmed. People, we all feel overwhelmed sometimes. That gets to be a mental health issue. What the hell? This is why Venus and Serena Williams got where they are and why you didn't. No shade, Naomi, but this is why Venus and Serena Williams got where they are and why you won't. In 2020, he dropped everything to quarantine with her at the US Open after she called him from the event. He dropped everything. What was he doing? Folks, what was he doing? He dropped everything to come quarantine with her. What was he doing? What was he doing what was he carrying around that he had to drop? Somebody explain that to me. At 23 years old, what did he have to drop? Furthermore, she's calling you for what? I FaceTimed him a couple of days earlier and said I was feeling sad and lonely in the bubble. She wrote on Instagram, been deleted. Unbeknownst to her at the time, Corday then boarded a flight and quarantined in a hotel to be with her. That's very interesting, Corday. I'm so glad that you did that, because how did she repay your commitment to her, sir? You did that for her in her 20s. You did that for her, sir. How did she repay that gesture of your commitment? She threw it away on a weekend. Let that be a lesson to every single male listening right now. Fellas, you think that these are grand gestures? You think that showing your ability to drop what you doing and put her first, you think that that's somehow gaining you some sort of currency or credit in some invisible bank account somewhere that shows her that you are special and that you're one of a kind and that she really means a lot to you. Man, they don't give a damn about that. That's what I'm trying to show you. That doesn't mean anything. You coming running because she says she's sad. And then you got the same damn thing as if you had told her, hey, baby, can you take some Claritin and perk up? You got the same outcome as if you had done that. Let that be a lesson. Boy, look at this little simp nigga here. He didn't watch much tennis before dating Osaka. Corday revealed he wasn't much of a tennis fan before meeting his girlfriend. Quote, if you ask me about tennis, before being immersed in it because of Naomi, I could only give you Venus and Serena Williams, because they're just a part of the culture. The first tennis match he attended was in 2019 at the U.S. Open. A year later, when he joined Osaka in the bubble for the event, she joked online that he still hadn't learned the game. So she was mocking him. The funniest part is, even after doing all this, I'm still convinced he doesn't understand the rules of tennis. LOL. Fellas, recognize when chicks act like this. And there's a reason why she was doing it, and doing it in her 20s. She's showing contempt. She doesn't see you as somebody that she admires. She's presenting you to the world with contempt. So in other words, you bent over backwards here to sit up here and try to show that you were backing her and you're, quote, supporting her. You're supporting her and she's mocking you. You know why? I'll tell you why. Better yet, I'll show you why. Here's the reason why. That picture right there. The picture over there on the left, you look like a kid. You don't look like you're leading. I'm not making fun of him or in that manner. What I'm saying is you don't look like a man who's leading. And then over there on the right, she looks like Rihanna standing next to ASAP Rocky. That's the reason why. That's why that was done. And then things like this. Here he is all booed up with her. Take a look at that look on her face. I want you to keep that look on her face in mind. Keep that look on her face in mind. We're going to come back to it. We're going to come back to that. But he went through all of that footwork to try to show that he's going to become the world's biggest tennis fan. He decided to become a fan of her. He decided he was going to show her that he was her fan. He didn't maintain his position. Shout out Offset. Wanted to show her. When I talk about the mama's boy mushroom, you see, there's something that a grown-ass man understands you do not do. You can sit here and congratulate her on what she's doing, but you don't become her damn fan. And a chick who is looking for a man who's going to become her fan, that's the chick you leave on the side. That's the chick you lay up with. That's not the one you sit up here and give her leverage over your life with. When a woman starts demanding leverage, and that means babies or marriage, something that she can call in reinforcements from the state. When a woman starts doing that, she's letting you know that she doesn't think you solid. She doesn't think that you're solid. My man TK Kirkland talked about that. He said, as long as you're a man, he said, as long as you don't give a woman a baby or a ring, she doesn't have leverage or power over you. Why do you think that she was on your ass, strong-arming you, headlocking you, talking about we need to have a baby? Because she realized you weren't going to give her a ring. And she also realized she was losing her leverage. 3-4 years later, and you were still acting like you had some sense. You were laying up with her, but your reptilian brain, as I've told you all for years now, dude, your reptilian brain is telling you she ain't solid. She's not wife material. Well, if she's not wife material, then she's damn sure not mother material. You could tell she was screwball and whatnot, fantastic in bed. She's photogenic in front of cameras. You're going to get some shine because she gets television and media coverage. That's where you're supposed to leave it at, because that's the extent of a power couple that you can be. You also probably recognize that she is reckless, which is what a female who has unprotected sex and gets pregnant by a dude she dating, she is showing that she is reckless. And you saw the signs already that she was reckless. You're supposed to protect yourself from her recklessness. And now you didn't protect yourself from her reckless drama. Now you're a part of it, a permanent part of it. You tried to handcuff her. Now you are permanently handcuffed to her chaotic, drama-filled, anarchy-filled life. It was the Corday show. Now it's the Osaka opera. Can't wait to get back to the court, but here's a little life update for 2023. Now you're on the hook for the next 2 decades. So much for your career. A little princess is on the way. Narcissism in female culture begins young. When they start doing these gynocentric gestures, a princess is on the way. This is narcissism. That because she's having a baby, that's what it needs to be. Narcissism on parade. Dude, now you are just a co-star in her little opera. Once again, shout out here to Stephen Coachman for your first super chat. Thank you very much for your support, and to everyone who has contributed live tonight on Cash App, PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Thank you very much for your support. Naomi Osaka, well, she used to gush over her boyfriend here a year ago, going on 2 years ago. Gushes over her boyfriend Corday's new album, You're a Star and a Light. Well, you take a look at this. Body language, dude. Body language. Take a look at that hand right there, by the way. Body language. Body language. Body language. I want you to be aware of that. When you take a look at things like that, you start seeing body language. I'm pointing this out to you for a reason. These women in their 20s, they go looking for a little sap-ass mama's boy. He doesn't dress like a man. So she is the adult in the relationship and you are going to be her subordinate. Because you see, that's how little scheming, think they smart hoes think that they're going to be smarter than the last generation of hoes. Well, you hoes from the Freaknik era in the 90s, see, you didn't make sure you locked those fellas down. You didn't make sure you had leverage over them. I'm going to go find a genuine sissified ass mama's boy, useless beta with an Xbox controller in his one hand and a bowl of cereal in the other. I'll be the adult and he'll have no choice but to stick with me because I'm leading. Now, that's not accidental. See, she's been through too many places and seen too many things for that to be accidental. She made a deliberate decision. Oh, when I go get this bastard baby, I got a fellow who ain't going to be able to go nowhere because I'm going to dominate him. Because you see, my mama, I'm going to go there.
And deal with it, nigga.
Because you see, my Asian mama couldn't dominate my daddy like that. So you see, I'm going to be a little bit smarter than she was.
Damn!
And I'm going to start this early in my 20s. I'm going to start this early. No, I don't want a competent man. I need one I can dominate. One who can't say no. Body language, body language, body language. I'm taking y'all on this 10 tons, 720 degrees of analysis you'll receive nowhere else. Other folk are speculating about these things. I'm bringing you the proof. You want to know, Jason, how is it you're able to predict these relationships and how they're going to go and how they're going to turn out? The evidence is sitting right there in front of you. Body language. Take a look at his hands. Take a look at his hands. Take a look at specifically where his hands are. And I submit to you that that's his priority. Now, let me just go ahead and get down to it. Every time you look up, he got his hands on her thighs. Every time you look up, he's got his hands on her thighs. Take a look at where those hands are. By the way, I can show you a dozen pictures, including at that Clippers game. When their first date at the Clippers game, I can show you a dozen pictures like that. I can show you a dozen pictures like that. That doesn't just show up over and over again by accident. That doesn't show up over and over again by accident. That shows up like that because, yes, she knew what she was leveraging there, and that was what she was offering. She know what he about. She know what he's about, and she knows what he's looking for. And he ain't really thinking. He's not really thinking. He doesn't go that way. He's not thinking about it that way. So that's why I'm showing you all that, by the way, it isn't accidental. It's not accidental. Jason, are you sure? I'm absolutely sure about it. Take a look at the body language. Look where his hands are. Look where his hands are. Scrolling down in this People magazine article. Look where his hands are. Occasion after occasion, day after day, event after event. Look where his hands are. And I submit to you with his mama's boy mushroom. This is where his priorities were. This is where his priorities were. I want you to understand that. This is where his priorities were, and she knew that from the beginning because she knew what she was leveraging. She knew what she was leveraging. No wonder she felt so safe to thought it up in the middle of her prime years, where she's supposed to be like Venus and Serena, focused like a laser beam on establishing her place in history. Establishing her place in her vocation in history. That's what she's supposed to be doing. And no wonder she felt so free to be able to put that on the sideline, because she's like, oh, I got this little dumb nigga wrapped around my finger. I got him wrapped around my finger. It's not my career that's going to go on hold. It's his. And she's telling herself that she's making some Kardashian family boss move. So let's just go ahead and jump into it here tonight. Why is it that these chicks in their 20s feel like they can go ahead and thought it up? Why do you think they can do that? Well, number one, they think they're following a template because they've seen this before now, haven't they? In their minds, they've seen this before. So as far as they're concerned, in the modern era, why, this is a program that you can run. This is a program you can run. Thought it up in your 20s. Get run through, run over, run by. Sexual history is degenerate and disgusting. You gonna get laid on top of by all the scum of the earth. Because scum sex is kinky. And you think you want to show that you can compete with the hoes because hoes are exciting. Well, yeah, hoes may also be exciting, but they are also unworthy. So they sit up here and you see it over and over again. It's not accidental. You see it over and over again because in today's age, they've been told, go ahead and thought it up in your 20s. And then by the time you get into your 30s or your 40s, then you going to be able to go ahead and flip. And just like you were a liar and manipulative in your 20s or your 30s, when you get to your 30s or your 40s or 50s, well, you'll go ahead and tell a new lie. Now you're going to go scramble for exactly the type of square ass nerdy dude that you couldn't stand to be around. That guy that you passed up and insulted and spat on before. That'd be an issue. That'd be an issue. That guy was no good. That guy was no good. None at all. So let's just be very, very clear. I want the men to know, I want you to understand, I hurt a lot of damn feelings. I hurt a lot of damn feelings when I said what I said before, but it was the damn truth. Guys need to get that through their damn heads. Many of you have been lied to because you desire to be lied to. And I just want you to understand here that it is no mistake what's going on here. It's no mistake. These women mean what they do, mean what they say. They mean all of this in their 20s, man. They mean it in their 20s. When they're saying and doing these things, it's not some learning curve. This is the biggest damn deceit you're pulling on yourself. There is no learning curve. They know what they're doing in their 20s. What they want to do is see if they can get away with it. So you got to watch out for these signs that that's what you're dealing with, and then don't pretend to yourself it's not happening and don't try to ignore it. Fellas, she mean this when she says stuff like this. Oh, she means this. She means this. Dude, she means this serious as hell. Dude, I didn't like your little square cornball ass. Nigga, you a bailout. What was it that you did like right there? What did you like? Nigga, look here. This is what I was trying to dig up on. And that didn't work out. Because it can't work out. But that's okay, because there will always be some dumbass simp somewhere on his last leg who is willing to take Future's leftovers and make a commitment to Future's genetic legacy. The other character traits you have to watch out here for, fellas, is outright overt narcissism. And this is a component that most males overlook. Most males overlook it because, unfortunately, as long as he is getting to throw his hands on some thighs, well, he shuts his brain off and calculating, scheming females, and they start now in their teens. Yeah, they're counting on you to turn your damn brain off. Take a look at that smile on her face. Now, what I'm going to say right now, what I'm going to do right now is going to upset a whole bunch of people here, but so damn be it. Take a look at that smile on her face. You take a look at that smile on her face. What does that look like to you? Well, doesn't that look like she's just genuinely giddy? This is so fun. Look at this right here. Take a look at her. No, don't sit up here and pretend that's something that isn't. You take a look at her next to the mama's boy mushroom. And you take a look at her face. Why, she's just genuinely enthusiastic right there. She's genuinely excited and fulfilled at that. You take a look at that, and don't you ever forget it. Because this is what it ends up looking like. Now, this is her from just last month. Whole new attitude now, huh? Why, she looks a decade older, doesn't she? She doesn't look 26. She looks 36. She's picking up that 1,000-thought stare. She's picking up that 1,000-thought stare. You know that look that females get here. Ladies, let me explain to you all what's wrong so that you don't take it personally. You're going to get upset. You're going to get in your feelings. I understand that. But ladies, I'm just trying to help. Just trying to help. Understand something. When you all are young, you have a look in your faces. You have a look in your, let me explain to you exactly what that is. You have a look of innocence. But what does innocent really mean? What does it really mean when you say the word that somebody is innocent, that a young person is innocent? What you mean is that that person is naive. That's what you mean. When you say that a child is innocent or a young person is innocent, what you mean is they're naive, they're unknowing. You can take a look at their face and they genuinely don't know that they're walking into a deadly, dangerous situation. They don't know. You can look in their face and look in their eyes and see you're completely clueless about the environment you're in, aren't you? You're sitting here with this big ass smile on your face. You genuinely don't know what it is that you're in the middle of. You're in the middle of a damn war zone and you think you're in an ice cream parlor. You don't get where you are. Ladies, that is innocent. And when you are young females, you've got innocence in your eyes. You've got ignorance. You're not like these old hoes who've been run through, who've been kicked around, blown out 3 or 4 kids by 3 or 4 different dudes. A chick who knows what it's like to have her hands and ankles grabbed and get stretched out over a picnic table by 4 or 5 different dudes. Yeah, I'm going there with it.
And deal with it, nigga.
You see, an innocent chick hadn't been messed over like that. An innocent chick hadn't played with fire and gotten burned. An innocent chick doesn't know what the grimy underbelly is like. So you see, she looks at everything with wide-eyed amazement and wonder and a simple-minded joy in her eyes. Yeah, but when them niggas get done running through your ass, that's when that look on your face starts to change. All of a sudden, you look hella old. You start to look like a chick who been through some things. Or some things been through you. You look like a chick who's been drugged. You look old. You're 26 but look 36. And I'm not talking about just your face. I'm talking about in your eyes. She doesn't look like she did 4 years ago. She doesn't look like that anymore. You know why? Because she been through so much backyard, back alley, back of the club gymnastics with down and dirty dudes that you ended up with Corday, and now you've lost your innocence. And now you've taken on the grime and the road miles and the weathering of a female much older than your years. This is her from a month ago. This is her from a month ago. 26 years old, but this is her from a month ago. So you could see that the falling out was already on its way. You could see that that was already coming. You could see that that was coming because by the look on her face, it's like, oh, the innocence is gone. And you see, if you think that you're going to get a bailout in your 30s or 40s or 50s, hell yeah, you're going to be like, hey, these niggas can come and take me through the run-through rodeo. Because I want the men listening to understand there's components about this that most men do not get. Fellas, I'm going to try to be a little bit YouTube sensitive, but your red pill coaches don't know anything about this. Fellas, ladies, I got to read the mail right quick. And I'm not talking about dating. I'm talking about power dynamics. Ladies, I got to read the mail. I got to read the mail. Fellas, most of y'all figure out when I told you that there are no good girls, they're just varying degrees of bad. It shouldn't have been a shock to you. The reason why it shouldn't be a shock to you here is because the females never told you that they were good girls. Every female, every single listen to me, damn it. Every single female wants to dress up in leather and lace. Every single female wants to have an edge. Period, point blank. From the biggest strawberry shortcake daddy's girl you think you ever met, the church girls, every single one of them wants to have an edge. Some of them want to have more of an edge than others. Every single one does. That's why you can't figure out how the hell it is that she ended up in bed with a fella who completely wants to slut her out. She wants that because that is part of the candy in the sexual candy store. That's what I need men to understand. Being slutted out is one of the flavors of the candy in the sexual candy store. And if you tell a female, I would never do such a thing to you, my fair maiden, she's gonna go look for the fella who will. And furthermore, it can't be a fella who's pretending. She wants a guy who he's really about that life because she wants to have the genuine experience. And fellas, you should understand that because I got to read the men's mail right quick. Fellas, when it comes to the females, you want a chick who's about that business. Fellas, can we just go ahead and keep it real? You ain't looking for Miss Polly Purebred. You want a chick, when we talk about the flavors in the candy store, you looking for a chick who got that flavor. You looking for that one. No, you might not want it all the time, but you're like, hey, look here, let me check and see. Hold on a minute, Baskin Robbins got 31 flavor. I need that 30-second though. I need that 30-second flavor. Close, but no cigar. I got to get it. Fellas, this is grown folks talk. Just like you want that particular hoe flavor, the females want that edge flavor from the dudes. It is what it is. It is what it is. So fellas, you can understand where she's coming from. So when you start talking about it, they shouldn't want to be slutted out like that. I'm like, okay, well, if you can't do it, she's going to go find the fella who can. Or at least the one she suspects can. They're usually wrong. Because these are guys who usually put on a persona. And in fact, he's the biggest limp-ass, lame-ass beta in the room. But, oh well. But fellas, females want that. Every female listening in here right now, she wants the 6-inch stilettos. She wants the spaghetti straps. She wants to wear the leather and lace. She wants to walk around in the outfit that shows her butt cheeks. You know why? Because she wants to have undeniable sexual energy. She wants her sexual energy to be undeniable. So she gonna want to have that ability, even if she only uses it once a year, like wearing a tuxedo. She wants it. Now, if you want to walk through the tulips and pretend to yourself that she doesn't, okay, fine, but she wants it. So what I'm telling you is that getting slutted out is not a deterrent. It's not a deterrent. But what they're going to try to do is protect themselves to the degree that they can. So let me go ahead and see if I can find some little beta out here. Oh, he's getting some attention. Well, that's good. He's getting some attention. Well, good. If he's getting some attention, then I can get some attention too. Once again, this is the narcissism. She's not really interested in him. She's interested in the fact that if there's a spotlight on him, then during her off season from what she does, well, she can sit up here and act like, okay, I got a dude who's about something. Somewhere along the line, though, things went sour. Somewhere along the line, they went south. And somewhere along the line, she started picking up the 1,000-thought stare. She started picking up the 1,000-thought stare. And that's how you ended up here. Chicks in their 20s, they want to thought it up in their 20s. How in the hell did you possibly feel like this would turn out okay? You didn't think it was going to turn out okay. they actually did not believe that. You know why? Because there's a specific type of male that they avoid. They avoid Mr. Mature and serious. This is why you always see them with somebody with a mama's boy mushroom top. You see him with some overgrown child. You take a look at his face and you don't see a leader. Why is that? Because a man who is leading isn't gonna be easy. Let me explain to you exactly what that means. Adult men expect something from you. We ain't looking to let you run our show or run us. You cannot negotiate with us. You can follow us, but you can't negotiate with us. You can only negotiate with a Pookie. That's why in their 20s, you see them end up and there's Mr. Pookie. Your income does not determine if you are a Pookie. There are some well-paid Pookies out there. Shout out Future. There's some well-paid Pookies out there. Well, Jason, how can you determine if you're with a Pookie or not? Well, let me go ahead and give you a very good rule of thumb right here that you can use. Oh, this is going to hurt so many damn feelings here tonight, and you might as well go ahead and start screaming and squealing about it now. Ladies, there's a bunch of you right now. You are Mrs. Pookie. You are Mrs. Pookie because these are the rules. You see, a grown man, a man who is a leader, we got something to lose. And when a man actually has something to lose, then by definition and by logic, we're going to protect it. We're not going to give it up easy. It's easy to get a baby from a Pookie. It's easy to get a marriage ring from a Pookie. It's easy to get a Pookie to give up every damn thing he got. That's what Pookies do. Pookies let women lead them. Pookies let women pimp them. And that's why chicks in their 20s go looking for a Pookie. Now, what they try to find is a paid Pookie, but paid Pookie is eventually going to let you put him on the hook. Paid Pookie is eventually going to put himself in a compromised position where you going to be calling all the shots and where you get to punish him. And folks, when did things start to fall apart between Naomi and Corday? Soon as she dropped the load. That tells you that we know what happened, don't we? Once she got the baby, she starts telling him what the rules gonna be. She starts telling him how much of a quote unquote man he's going to be. She starts not asking him things, but dictating things. Cause she's like, well, nigga, you would marry me, but now I got the damn lock a nigga baby. I got the break a nigga baby. So now you're gonna do what I say. Yeah, I couldn't get you down that wedding aisle, but I got the state behind me now, so that's just as good. So now I'm not gonna ask you what to do what I say anymore. Now I'm gonna tell you to do it. All my baby daddies in the chat room, niggas, stand up for a minute. If I'm telling the truth right now, give me the thumbs up emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. It's over 2,500 people in here live right now. But the baby daddies, this 1 minute, we ain't gonna mock y'all tonight. Just stand up and give us the thumbs up emoji if I'm telling the truth. If you live that, soon as that chick dropped the load, her whole attitude changed on you. 1 minute she was playing that submissive role. Nigga, as soon as she dropped the damn load, all of a sudden some of those little sparks of contempt and some of those little sparks of conflict you had before, the switch flipped. Once she had that baby, she was like, oh no, nigga, I'm squaring off on you now. It went from her talking to you to now she squares off on you. It used to be that she would just give these little hints and these little backhanded comments. Once she had that baby, oh, now she's squaring off on you. It's like, oh, nigga, I'm not doing anything. You're going to do this. You gonna do this. And key word is gonna. You gonna do what I said. You see, a man who's leading, you can't play that game because he's not going to put himself in that position. So you're going to be forced to go grab some weak ass, lame ass beta Pookie. You got to get him. He's the only one going to let you put him in that position, and you going to end up fighting with that nigga for the rest of your life. You're never going to be able to end that one. That's it. You're never going to be able to end that one. So understand something, a Pookie is easy to get a baby or a marriage from because he ain't got nothing to lose and he's not smart enough to protect what he does have. Understand, she talks to you like you're a child. You know that you're the Pookie when she's talking to you like a child, when you are absolutely positively correct in what you're saying, but she's trying to overtalk you and backtalk you and everything else. She's talking to you like you're a child or like you're a trinket. She talks about you like you're a child or talks about you like you're some trinket that she's carrying around. You're there to enhance her value because you don't have any value of your own, because that's not your purpose. Let's also be very, very clear about one other thing right here. These chicks in their 20s, they look for little weak ass beta Pookies because she knows she can come shut you down whenever she wants to. So in her sick, selfish, psychotic, narcissistic mind, well, this is the sweet spot. It's an exploitative relationship. Yeah, because I told you all this. Fellas, when a female has been run through, when she is able to get her hooks in a dumbass dude, the only thing she's thinking to herself is, I got you. Now, no matter what happens from here on in, I'm in control. Because I walked in the door making sure that I could get you before you get me. All them other dudes who put me on the run-through rodeo and left me sitting on the curbside for pickup, them dudes, I ain't got to worry about that. They're in their 20s. Fellas, the reason why they feel like they can thot it up in their 20s, the reason they feel like they can do that, they're even the so-called smart chicks. They feel like they can do that because somebody lied to them and promised them that no matter what they did, that eventually they could redeem themselves. And it's a lie. All you're going to do is trade. If she does, you're going to trade out Pookie Corday for Pookie Cornell. That's all you're going to end up with. Because you can't change your fate now. Because no matter where you go, you're going to be the same woman. Only now you're going to be offering a worse deal. Naomi didn't think about none of this. She didn't think about any of it because she didn't think she had to. There's a very simple question here. Naomi, please tell me the multi-millionaire who is looking to take care of Corday's baby. Who gonna do that? Who is the multimillionaire looking to finish Corday's meal? With all your stretch marks, STDs, mental and emotional problems, I didn't say it, you said it. Who's the fella who's getting out there to turn himself into a top dollar dude and this is what he's gonna take? I'm gonna do a program here soon about why it's okay to hate single moms.
What?
Okay. I don't mean to hate them. That's not what I mean. What I mean, though, is that I'm going to be doing a program here soon about why single moms appreciate a man who doesn't want a single mom. And it's okay. You know why? Because she knows that if you did, you can't trust his you can't tell me that you're a high value man and you rolling with a low value female. High value men, much less peak value men who got value don't take a downgrade. And she appreciates that. Somebody in the chat room said Will Smith. She appreciates that. Look, Naomi knows she's in a compromised position. She'll take a dude who'll bail her out, but she ain't gonna respect him. She's gonna respect the fella who's like, yeah, you know, I'll kick it with you, but I'm nobody's fool. See, that's the reason that she doesn't respect Corday, because he's somebody's fool. Hers. But a single mom respects a man who looks her in the face and lets her know, hey, I'm nobody's fool. Look, I'll kick it with you and we can do some things and I'll take care of some business. But as far as that commitment thing, well, no, if I did that, I can't be a high value man and yet deal with a low value life. A high value man doesn't make a permanent commitment to lesser options. And a lesser option doesn't sit up and pretend that it's a higher option than it is. Case in point, for us as men, see, there's a whole bunch of females and their feelings right now. I hate this damn Jason Black. I hate him, baby. Sit back.
Auntie, chill!
You see, for us as men, if we are good enough to be professional athletes, we throw in our bid. But when we're no longer good enough to be professional athletes, we don't get upset because folks tell us we lost a step or that we no longer qualify. As a matter of fact, we are insulted if you tell us otherwise because we know you running game. We know you're running game. We don't respect someone who looks us dead in our face and lies and tells us that we are in better condition than we are. This is why men recover from setbacks better than most women do, because we won't tolerate someone telling us that we're in better condition than we really are. Because we know that person's trying to deceive us and lie, and the only thing a person who's trying to deceive you can do is hurt you. As a female, you should be able to respect that. And you do. That doesn't mean you ain't gonna try to get over. But a woman respects when a man lets her know, hey, baby, you know full damn well there's better options. And if I treat you a lesser option as if you're on the same level as a greater option, well, that would just make me a fool. And you wouldn't respect me if I start acting like a fool. Yes, you have value, and we need to deal with you within the frame of that value. That's what preserves my value, is because I'm not a fool. That's why you can trust my judgment. You see, a woman can't trust Russell Wilson. I said it. A woman can't trust Russell Wilson. A woman can't trust Will Smith. That's why both of them are on the road to destroying their careers right now, because those men's judgment can't be trusted. Even if they did have a good run, their good run was just luck because they were ultimately fundamentally flawed, and you can't trust the judgment of a man who's fundamentally flawed. Will Smith proved that he didn't have good judgment when he pursued Jada. The word was already out there in the street. You already saw the niggas she was hanging with. You showed you had bad judgment. As soon as you started pursuing her, you saw you had bad judgment. That was bad judgment. Now, all these decades later, we're getting the final returns on how bad your judgment was. But your judgment was always bad. Russell Wilson's judgment was always bad. You cannot put your fate in the hands of a man with bad judgment, which is why these females that these fellas are dealing with they always got one foot in the relationship with them and one foot somewhere else. Ciara wasn't going to get with Russell unless she could open up some stores of her own and get a makeup deal and some endorsement deals of her own, because she understands if this guy is dumb enough to take me and all the obvious baggage I bring with me, then his judgment cannot be trusted. That's what every woman understands. She'll take a sucker and a fool for a bailout, but she knows, your judgment can't be trusted. The very fact that you accepted me, that means your judgment is suspect. If you fell for me, you will fall for another chick who's even more deficient because your judgment is bad. A female knows when she ain't up to code, just like a man knows when he's not up to code. The real thing is she looking for a fellow who's going to overlook that. That's the guy that she will use and abuse, but she doesn't respect you. And a woman cannot submit to a man that she doesn't respect. She can lie and pretend. How many fellas have ever been in a relationship with a woman who was a liar and a pretender and it ever turned out well? Fellas, ladies, how many of y'all, she just pretending to be okay? Okay, how many times have you seen that and it turned out well? How many times has that turned out all right? How do you get into a permanent commitment with someone who is a liar and a pretender and a fraud and a phony who's just pretending to feel something and it turns out good? You know that bill is always going to come due because it must. It must. Jason, when does that bill become due? Either when she can separate you from what you got and take it for herself, or if she gives up on the idea of doing it, it's time to cut bait. But let's also be clear about one other thing. When them chicks decide to cut bait, they punish betas. This is the other reason why females feel like they can THOT it up in their 20s. Because she's been told by the society that she will not be held accountable for her actions. As a matter of fact, anything that's went wrong, even though she engineered the whole thing, she gets to blame you. You get the bill. You get demonized. You get impugned. You get told that you should have done more. You get told that it was your fault, even when folks don't even have all the information. You get told it was your fault. So she gets told that if things do go bad, she gets to go demonize you because her scheme didn't work. Her scheme didn't work, so now she's been told in her 20s, baby, what social stigma? What stigma? You ain't got to deal with that. You ain't got to deal with that. You go blame him. You go blame him. You go demonize him. You don't have to take accountability. As a matter of fact, you can hop right back on the run-through rodeo with your baby in the stroller. Folks, let me ask y'all something. Is there anybody here listening to me tonight who thinks that Brittany Renner has been celibate since she had that baby? You heard what her sex habits were. Do you think that Brittany Renner has been celibate and single and been just sitting at home practicing chastity for the last year? Do you really think that's what's been going on? You really think Brittany has been sitting at home reflecting on her life, on how to be a better person? Or do you think she is still out here having quadruple X-rated sex and getting yeast infections and biscuit infections and every damn thing else. Do you think that's not still happening with the baby in the damn back seat? Come on, folks. Do you think the fact that now she's pushing around a baby stroller is prohibiting her or inhibiting her from doing a damn thing? She gonna take that damn baby stroller, push it in the next room. If we're lucky, if we're not, she'll let the damn thing sit right there while she do what she do. And she's been told that's okay. That's all right. And that when she gets ready, when she's ready, this guy who ain't been running up to come take you off the market now is going to jump up later to do something like that. That's what they're going to be doing here now. Because they have been informed that that's what they've got the power and the freedom to do that. That's what they've been told. That the run-through rodeo gives immunity. That the run-through rodeo gives you immunity. Now imagine when you tell somebody that. Imagine when you tell somebody that. Imagine that. Folks, if this is how bad they are in their 20s, you got to understand the reason for that is because they've been told they're going to get a do-over. Don't you understand that in the hands of a narcissistic 20-something-year-old, you just told her you got a ticket to slut your way through life? These are permanent decisions. These are permanent decisions. But how can you convince somebody that it's a permanent decision if you've told them, well, don't worry, you'll get a bailout? It's not really that serious. You got chicks in their 40s assuring these chicks in their 20s that don't worry, there's hope for you. Instead of folks telling the damn truth, no, there isn't. Tell them the damn truth. Baby, there is no hope whatsoever. You gonna get somebody's beta ass, sad sack simp nigga that nobody competes for, nobody really wants. Y'all, you gonna have to just get in where you fit in. That's where you gonna be. But they don't say that. They're gonna lie to them and tell them, oh, don't worry. There's going to be some white knight out there somewhere who checks all the boxes and everything will be fine. And that's not the way it works, because that's not the way it can work. It cannot work that way. It just can't. Jason, why can't it? It can't work that way because you can't force the world to give you the one thing that you need most. want the women to understand you cannot force the world to give you the one thing that you need the most. I posted this on my Facebook page. Some of you have seen this. Man who fell in love with a single mom of 6. I'll be damned. She didn't get run through. She been run over. Look at the cheese. I mean, look at the grin. You can see this nigga teeth from Mars. He is grateful. And I mean, she ain't got little kids either. Don't you see them big jokers back there behind him? Do you see them? Here's the problem, Naomi, and this is why you're picking up the 1,000 thought stare, because this is your option. And you're going to have to do the Jedi mind trick on yourself and tell yourself that this is a top tier dude. With one problem, you know that everybody is laughing at him. Ladies, how many of you can be proud of being with a man that everybody is laughing at and mocking him? That's the problem, Naomi. You can't get a do-over. You can't be redeemed if the guy that, even if you could get someone, just because he's willing to accept you doesn't mean that the world will. He can't redeem you if he can't get the world to look at you with respect and esteem. But if the world is laughing at him, guess what? They're laughing at you. A woman is no better than the quality of man that she is with. If people are laughing at your man and mocking your man, they don't admire him. They're laughing at him. They're talking about him either behind your back or in front of your face. That's it. You dead. That's it. You're done. It's over. They didn't tell you this in your 20s, now did they? They didn't tell you this. This is why everybody's looking at Will Smith and Russell Wilson crazy because, dude, how did you think this was going to occur? Of course they're gonna laugh. Of course your woman is discontent. She gotta be, because there's nowhere she goes where you have done the one thing that every female ultimately expects. You see, she can sit here and play around with somebody's mushroom-headed mama's boy for a little bit, but eventually every woman wants a man that she can look up. No, let me rephrase that. Not every woman wants a man. Every woman needs a man that she can look up to. I am not talking about dating tonight. I'm talking about power dynamics. If you want to understand where so many of you went wrong in your estimations and guesstimations, I'm telling you what the women won't tell you. Women won't say this to you because if they told you, then you can be an imposter. She wants to know that it's real. And it can only be real if she doesn't have to tell you what to do. If you just do it on your own, then she's got a pretty good assurance this is real. A woman needs a man that she can look up to. She needs a man that she admires. She needs a man who is her superior. That's the reason why women like tall men. She likes a tall man because by definition, she has to look up to him. That's physical confirmation. That's why a woman wants a strong man. She wants a man who can physically pick her up because that is an undeniable cue of strength. No, fellas, you ain't got to like it, but it's the damn truth. I understand. Let me hurt some feelings right now again. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool to have some thick chicks. I mean, don't get me wrong. Thickness has its place in this world. I get that. It's cool to have some thick chicks. Have you tried to pick that heifer up? I'm talking about even doing the fireman's carry. Have you tried to pick that joker up? So just understand something. A woman feels secure when she's with a man who can do that. When she's with you and it's like the deadlift at the Olympics, she's like, whoa, that's a sign of weakness. That's a sign of weakness. Fellas, there's a reason why going to the gym helps. You can pick your woman up. She cannot deny that that is a cue of strength. She can't deny it. That's what she's looking for. She can't help but look up to a man who can pick her up. A man who is taller than her can pick her up. His finances outweigh her. The mistakes that he's made in his life have been fewer and smaller. She's made more mistakes and her mistakes were more devastating. She needs a man that she can look up to and admire. She needs that. She needs that. That's not optional. Just like sex appeal from a female is not optional for a man having the ability to give her something that she looks up to and it's undeniable. That's not optional for a female. That's not optional. That's not optional. You talk about a female who wants a man who takes charge. These are code words from women. These are code words. And at the end of the day, she gonna need that. If she doesn't get it, she gonna try to double back for it. She's like, hey, at some point, when I finish playing with these bad boys, she's like, okay, I gotta go back and get that. No woman can respect a man who is mocked by the community. No woman can respect a man who is not admired by other competent, accomplished men. This is why females will always put more value into a man who's made a name for himself. You know why it's so important to have a name for yourself? It's important to have a name for yourself because that is something that has been tested by the public at large. If the only people who know who the hell you is the door greeters at Walmart and the little old checkout lady at Piggly Wiggly, nigga, you ain't got no name. A woman is looking for a fella who got that. See, that's why when you whip out that American Express gold car, she's like, oh, you've been validated. When you show it to other people, they see, oh, you've been validated. That's why the car that you drive and making sure you're not financially underwater with it, that's why that matters. Oh, you've been validated. That's why seeing the other men around you, let's take a look at them fellas. Let me see your social circle and who you roll with. That validates you. That's not something that she got to sit up here and make up and embellish. That's something that speaks for itself. That's something that when people see you, even if they don't know you, they immediately recognize you. Think about that for a few moments. When you whip out a platinum card, a sapphire card, hell, a black card, folks immediately recognize you, even if they've never met you before. That's the kind of thing they're looking for, even if they never met you before. This is why, let me go ahead and explain this to the fellows here in a manner I hope you guys can understand. That's another reason why automatically women like tall fellas, they like well-built fellas. You know why? Because a man who gives off those physical alpha cues strikes people as being an athlete. He stirs questions in people's minds. I've always had a good set of shoulders on me. So folk have always said, did you ever play football? If you look like you got a build that could do that kind of thing, folks stop and it's like, oh, wait a minute. You might be somebody important. It speaks for itself. Just like if your woman takes care of herself, like, oh, damn, are you a model? Fellas, you know that's what you're looking for. You want a chick who's so well put together that folks are like, hey, is she a model? And it speaks for itself. The chat room Creed Man said I'm 4'11". Well, bro, get your credit and your weight up there. If you stand on your wallet, you'll be 5'8". Don't lead with your bank account, but brother. Even if you're 4'11", get your money put together. Make sure you got flat abs and stand on your wallet. You'll be 5'8". You get a credit score big enough. If you got that and an 820 credit score, you'll be 5'8", standing on your wallet. You didn't think I had an answer for that? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Don't be worried about that at all. Don't be scared. So those are the things that they look for there, and that is important. And Naomi has been told she can thought it up in her 20s because she gonna get the bailout in 10, 12 years. There ain't gonna be no damn bailout. It never is, because it can't be. It can't be. In the chat room, that's the biggest. All I can say is those are Grand Regent, those are statements that are, first of all, Robert Kirkman. Those are statements made by people who don't know no rich people. So all I can say is y'all need to stop listening to reading memes on Facebook and Instagram. Folks, y'all know damn well my bona fides speak for themselves. My connections speak for themselves. I don't know any rich people who dress like bums. Sam Bankman-Fried was a con artist. I'm talking about folks who are legit. Legit rich people don't dress like bums. They can't. Let me say that again. Legit rich people can't dress like bums. They can't. They can't. Let me tell you something else. Mark Zuckerberg, once again, Mark Zuckerberg was wearing $500. He wears a t-shirt. Yeah, his t-shirt is $500. Y'all need to stop passing around these Facebook and Instagram memes, recirculating these lies folks want to tell themselves. Rich people don't dress like bums. Grand Regent, nobody knows who you're talking about, dude. So, like I say, folks come up here and talk about folks nobody heard of, and you're probably, I'm no disrespect, but if you can't introduce us to him, it didn't happen. So please just save the fairy tales for somebody else. You can't show us who you talking about. Everybody comes up with some make-believe story. I know a fella here. Jason, he dresses in dirty shorts and combat boots. He wears millions of dollars. Man, shut up. Just stop it. Just stop it. That kind of daydream, that kind of obvious phony daydream talk is the reason why women don't take fellas seriously. I'm just being, dude, no disrespect, no offense, but somebody needs to talk to you like a grown man. Bro, when you use that kind of make-believe childish talk, women don't take you seriously. And guess what? Men don't take you seriously either. We can't take that kind of fantasy island babble seriously. Y'all sit up here and come up with these fantasy island scenarios of some secret millionaire that nobody knows. You can't name him. You can't name him. You can't introduce him. You can't show anything. Well, this is what he do. And what you're trying to say is that he's like you. No, he isn't. Because number one, he doesn't exist. But number two, so what? Sir, if you can't present any proof, you're lying. So why don't you just take the night off? All you got is your fonts you're putting on the screen. Now you're just being stubborn. I already said what it was. Bring your man here so we can talk to him. We'll go ahead and chop it up. No. I don't want you to call in. I want to get acquainted with him. I want to check the pedigree myself. Because we all know it's garbage. There's always some make-believe nigga claiming that. Dude, if you and him were cool like that, why the hell are you sitting here? You should be talking to him right now, getting gamed up. Folks, I'll be the first one to tell you that. If you actually knew somebody like that, you's a damn fool sitting here tonight. Why aren't you talking to him? So the both of you can be sitting there with dirty combat shorts on and making a grip. That sounds kind of stupid. Who is your best friend? Cesar Pena and DJ Envy? Let me guess. He's got lots of good cheap real estate in New Jersey that we can be dealing with. You two ain't cool enough for you to meet him, so just take the night off, dude. The next time you say something, I'm going to have my mods mute you for a while. Just take the night off. These fellas out here who are unaccomplished, they don't have anything. He wants to believe that rich people are like him, so he tells himself he can fantasize that he's just that close. No, dude, you don't get it. You don't. As you have better in life, you do better in life. Yes, sir, the car gets more expensive because it must get more expensive. The house gets more expensive because it must get more expensive. The clothes get more expensive. The gifts get more expensive. The trips get more expensive because they must get more expensive. You know why? Because I've been to Miami 10 damn times. As you elevate in social status, the places you go, the people you see, you can't be an extraordinary man and your life is filled with ordinary things. Well, that's just the truth. I know some of your mamas out there, a bunch of you raised by single mamas who put delusions and fantasies in your head because she could never get it. Extraordinary people are not inundated every day in ordinary things. So when you tell me that you know extraordinary people, but everything you tell me about them is ordinary, that's our first clue that either you or they are full of bullcrap. Extraordinary people don't submerge and saturate themselves in ordinary things. That defeats the purpose of becoming extraordinary. Well, Jason, he got an extraordinary income, but he don't use it. He's extraordinary, but he don't use it. No, sir, that's your bastard baby-making mama talking. You need to go and knock the damn house shoes off your mama. She's got you out here talking stupid and silly. Folks who got their act together, dude, let me tell you, my celebrity friends don't do none of this. Y'all understand something. This is why you can't talk to them, because these folk understand fantasy island daydreamer like you, they don't want to be sitting around you talking stupid. They don't want to be around you talking dumb. They want to be around folks who really got it. And people who really got it, let me tell y'all folks, for the females, for example, man, look here, you can't compare a Coach bag to a Chanel. You can't compare it. You can't compare a Michael Kors to a Gucci. You can't compare them. And I've bought them all. You can't compare those. Let's just lay it on the line. Any female who owns Fendi, Gucci, Chanel, I'm not even going to get into Hermes. I'm just going to keep it in the real world here. I'm not even gonna get that far. I'm not gonna go out there on a limb. We ain't gonna go to Mars. You can't compare those two. The moment you touch that, you're like, oh, wait a minute, lambskin. You can't compare those two. There's a reason why they sell and resell for what they do. They don't sell and resell for those amounts because folk gotten like, meh. That's not the reason that happens. That's not the reason it occurs. Somebody sitting in somebody's chat room who doesn't know anything will try to compare those two. They are not even in the same zip code. Y'all can sit here and listen to some idiot tell you that if you want to. Folks who don't know anything. This is why the chicks in their 20s think they can thot it up for the next 20 damn years. Because there'll be some dumbass like him sitting up here telling her what she wants to hear. I got to remind y'all about that all the damn time. I got to remind you about that all the damn time. There are things we pay for, but we don't overpay. I ain't going to go off in the damn woods about it. But if I said some names, they know who they are. I was talking to them about the G-Wagon. I'm like, by the way, my damn Escalade has features that the G-Wagon doesn't. So, yeah, you can buy one. I'm not going to go into all my business here. You can buy one, but just understand and don't overpay. Well, yeah, you didn't get where you are by overpaying, but yeah, you get into it and stuff. It better impress you. There are some things that impress. There are things that don't. So where the G-Wagon is concerned, there's things that impress. There are things that don't. One that is absolutely impressive from top to bottom? Yeah, Bentley is impressive from top to bottom. The Bentayga, the Mulsanne, the Continental, the Flying Spur. It is impressive from stem to stern. It is impressive from bumper to boot. The second you sit down in it, you're like, oh, where'd they get this leather from? There's a documentary on YouTube that tells you where they got the leather from. Organically raised cows on some farm out in England somewhere. Can't have any imperfections. Yeah, when you get to a certain point, your shoes, your clothes, your credit cards, your credit score, your car, they're supposed to be reflective of where your position is in life because these are non-verbal indicators. I don't have to tell you where I'm at. The damn car I pulled up in told you where I'm at. You see, that's when you realize you're dealing with the real thing. They're not talking to you. Sir, how would you like to pay for this item? You whip out your American Express gold card, platinum card, black card. I don't have to explain a damn thing to you. American Express is doing all the talking right now. See, this is the fact I have to explain this. This is how chicks get in trouble. This is how chicks get in trouble. Right there. That's how it happens. Listening to guys who so obviously don't know. Listen to guys who don't know. In the chat room, somebody talked about Saltwerk. Man, let me tell you something, dude. We talking about Korean sea salt. We going past that, by the way. I know I got a bunch of y'all on Saltwerk. I understand that. I got a bunch of y'all on that. I want y'all to understand. Look here. All I did was sprinkle you with the beginner's course. Man, look here. We got stuff that's way better than that. We got stuff that's beyond that. We got stuff that's beyond that. And the only point I'm making to you right now is don't let some jackass sit up here and fool the rest of y'all with this garbage that they say. Fellas like that, the closest that they'll get to that is sitting in my chat room. You know what they'll never be? They'll never be in front of the people that I get in front of and that I talk to and that I pick up the phone and speak with, because those folk wouldn't let him have. The second he says that, out he got to go. They don't play around with make-believers and liars. They don't do that. They don't do that. Because they're nobody's fool but a young, dumb female. might hang out here with somebody who's somebody's fool, and next thing you know, she finds herself getting caught up. Now she's stuck with that for the rest of her damn life and trying to explain to people about why that's okay that happened. Why it's okay that occurred. Don't worry, I'll get a bailout. And what I'm saying is that, damn, the bailout is going to be a bum out. That's all it's going to be. It's not going to be a flex. It's going to be a flop because it's got to be. This is the sad, sad story of Naomi Osaka. Naomi Osaka, who had her whole damn life in front of her, who had so many options that seemed to be available. Naomi Osaka, who was showing the world, or at least for a while, it looked like she was actually had an opportunity to pick and choose where she was going to go. And she took it all and squandered it on some amusement park sex. Thotting it up in her 20s because she's saying, don't worry. At the end of the day, I'm going to get a bailout. So it doesn't matter how bad I am, how raggedy I am, how run through I am. It doesn't matter what occurs. I'm going to get a bailout. I'm going to find a fellow who is tall and dark and handsome and respected and accomplished, and he's going to overlook all these things. So it doesn't matter how bad what I do is, in the end, it's going to turn out all right. That's what's going on. And Naomi has watched damn me, Ciara, and told herself, well, don't worry. I'm going to pull off what Ciara did. And the truth is, Ciara didn't pull it off. Ciara hasn't pulled it off. Ciara is with a guy right now. Hell, she had a damn downgrade. She had more respect from the average people when she was with Future. Now she's with a guy who gets laughed at by his own damn teammates. So guess what? If Russell Wilson is Mr. Joke, then what does that make Ciara? That makes her Mrs. Joke. If your man is broke, that makes you Mrs. Broke. If your man's a simp, that makes you Mrs. Simp. If your man is competent and respected, that makes you Mrs. Competent and respected. If your man is a mama's boy mushroom, you are Mrs. Mama's boy mushroom. Naomi Osaka just X'd herself out the damn game for the next 2 decades. And what's the caliber and quality of male she gonna get in her 40s? You're gonna get some dude, he's either gonna be some sexual degenerate, check his DMs. You're gonna get some sexual degenerate. If he's hanging out in his damn 40s and he's willing to take you off the market, he's somebody's fool. He's either somebody's fool or he's some degenerate, one or the other. Oh, well, check the paperwork. Check the paperwork.
Damn!
No, in this day and age, even the so-called smart females, they think they can thot it up in their 20s because they're going to ultimately get a bailout. That's what they've been told, is eventually you gonna get bailed out. There's gonna be a fellow who's gonna come along and erase all of this. Folks, there's chicks getting laughed off the internet every damn day trying to do that. This is why the female dating gurus can't get nowhere. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I saying too much here tonight?
And deal with it, nigga. Ah!
But it's the truth. Your dating gurus can't get no traction. The reason they can't get any traction is because you don't have a man, or folks took a look, the women, not the men, the women took a look at the man you were with and said, oh, hell, if that's the quality that your advice got for you, I'll pass. There's a reason they can't get no traction. Folks, ain't none of them getting out the damn game clean. It's a damn clown car out here. These chicks are in their damn 20s just giving it away. throwing away the whole damn farm. They're going to listen to some little old ladies sit up here and try to assure them, well, don't worry, baby, it's going to turn out all right. And then it's just going to be your turn. Now you're sitting over there with them, all of you looking stupid and goofy. Yeah, you didn't think it was going to end like that, now did you? However, you might disagree. Therefore, the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933, your personal access code to the program that all your favorite YouTubers love to hate watch. This is the one. Also, we're going to go ahead and light up the Zoom for you here as well. Do be aware here that if you go on Zoom, Zoom does get priority. Just remember to make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on Zoom. So we do give priority on Zoom. Just make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on. Big shout out here to everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, CashApp, Super Chat, Venmo, Plant-Based Trucker, College of Natural Science, BDA, Serenity McCoy. She's been hiding out for a minute there. Thought she got booed up for a minute. Old boy didn't call it tonight, so she's calling me. Ranger 117, thank you very much for your support here as well. We appreciate that. You said, what if you have diabetes, hypertension, weak heart, post-kidney transplant, a government employee, veterans benefits, disqualified by most females? Yeah, you are. With a laundry list like that right there, yeah, you're I'm not going to be the guy to lie to you. By most females, yeah. Yes, that is the definition of a list that is disqualified by most females. Yes, that is true. But then again, it sounds like you got bigger issues than the female. So you might want to go holler at one of the nurses in dialysis. You might want to holler at one of the nurses in dialysis. She will be accommodating and understanding of your plight. But in any case, Serenity's trying to smooth it over now. Too late. Folks, I'm telling this story here tonight because it's a sad, sad tale. It's a sad, sad tale because right now in the 21st century, you're seeing females who are openly waving the banner. Man, we just gonna THOT it up in our 20s. We're gonna get run through, run by, run over. And what makes you so confident you can do that? Because they've been told, man, it doesn't matter. Hell, I'll go get an OnlyFans. I will do all of this. I will get an OnlyFans. And then when I get ready to cash out, there's going to be Mr. Magic ready. Cassandra, ma'am, well, maybe you and Ranger One need to hook up. I don't know. Maybe y'all need to talk to each other there. There's somebody for everyone. There's someone for everyone. Anyway, the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Don't want to put the spotlight on my folks in the chat for too much here. So let me go ahead and try to pull back a little bit. Yeah, and I will tell you, honestly, I was a little bit worried there because at first I thought it was like Caitlin Ohashi. I thought it was her at first. I'm like, okay, it was Naomi Osaka. That doesn't make it a whole lot better. And let's also be clear about what her problem here is. Naomi thinks she got that mixed chick magic. So she thinks she got that mixed chick magic. You know how that goes. So the mixed chicks started up in their 20s and they figure when they get older, let me go get a dark-skinned black male and he'll be scraping the bottom of the damn barrel. And why shouldn't they think that? Why shouldn't they be believing that something like that will occur? Why shouldn't they think that there's going to be some fella out there who's going to be waiting to bail them out in those circumstances? After all, yeah, I don't want to say us dark-skinned black men got to hold this L. I don't want to say that because this fella here looked like he fresh off the boat. So I don't want to say that us dark-skinned black men got to hold this particular L. I'm just going to say, hey, y'all, we going to have to ride straw boss on some of these fellas out here. Some of these fellas out here are just so damn flagrant, man. They giving all of us a bad name. They giving us a bad name. We just trying to live And these fellas out here, I mean, dark skinned as they can be, grabbing just whatever they can, however they can, sitting next to you and me, talking about us. Talking about us. So, fellas, we got to start enforcing the code. We got to start enforcing rules. We can't let this keep happening. We cannot let this kind of thing keep occurring. Because this is the reputation we got to live with when we let that happen. We let that become the reputation. Next thing you know, it's like, this is what black men like. And it's like, no, them niggas over there. But it's like, well, if he looked like you, oh, well. Next thing you know, that's what you sit up here and have to deal with, because they're like, well, he looks like you right here, so we might as well go ahead and put that on all of y'all. Okay, fellas, we got to sit up here and ride straw balls. We can't let them go ahead and get away with that. We can't let them get away with that, because it gets worse, man. It gets worse. It gets worse. Jason, what do you mean by it gets worse? Fellas, if you want to know why it is that these chicks think they can just do what the hell ever and just thought it up during their damn 20s and just do whatever, let me go ahead and show you exactly why they think they can do that. Some fellas ain't gonna like this, but it's true. Some of these fellas out here, I shouldn't say some of them, too many out here, Naomi and the rest of them, there's a reason why they think they can get away with that. They think they can get away with that because there was something I had seen on YouTube. Something I see on YouTube, and I'm going to play it for you here because I want you to hear it for yourselves. They think they can do this kind of stuff when you got chicks like this jump out there doing whole comedy skits. Let me go ahead and get the brother's face down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Let me get your face down there, bruh. Fellas, there's a reason why we got to do it like this, because we can't keep holding L's. The title of this video is Black Men Give the Best Compliments. It's got over 788,000 views in just a month. This is from Chocolate Sunday's Comedy on YouTube. Listen to this for yourself.
I have been in LA for like a month now, and my friend took me to see a psychic. And clap if you believe in this stuff. I'm always curious. Okay, there's a lot of you not being honest. That business is booming out here. My God. I don't really believe in that stuff, but I was like, all right, I think it'd be fun, you know? And I thought I was going to get like a really vague reading, you know? But then this guy actually gave me a lot of specifics, all right? This is what he told me. He was like, oh, I actually see you meeting someone very soon, all right? He's going to be 6'5", mixed, but not mixed like half Irish, half Italian. I mean mixed like half white, half black. Nice teeth, and you know him. I was like, I know him. He's like, yeah, you know him. You met him before. Like, I see him orbiting your circles. You definitely know this guy. I was like, I don't think I know that dude. And he was like, trust me, you know him. I was like, yeah, trust me. If I knew that dude, I'd be trying to fuck him right now. I wouldn't be here. What? I'd be at his door making something happen, okay? I'm not shy, all right? But then when we left, my friend was actually like a little nervous. She asked me, she was like, oh, he said you were going to date a guy who's mixed. Like, have you ever even dated a black guy? And I feel like that's a dumb question, because I've lived in New York City for 10 years, and I've been single the whole time. So, yeah, it's like the most diverse city in the world. So it's like, black dude, okay, please. My sexual history looks like the table at the United Nations, all right? Don't awe that. That's what it should look like, all right? My pussy has more stamps than my passport, if I'm being honest.
Hurry, hurry, step right up, fellas. Pull you a chair up to the table and get you a plate of this. Yes, sir. Come on through. Hurry, hurry, step right up. Yeah, don't all push through at the same time. Absolutely. Don't let that get in your way.
Yeah. My pussy has more stamps than my passport, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Girls, you can really travel the world and not leave one place. You can really see it all. But it's interesting, so many people still have like a little stigma with interracial relationships, you know? Like people will always ask me when they find out, they're like, oh, you've dated a black guy, is it different? I'm like, all right, first of all, I'm one person, you know? I can't speak for everybody. But for me, I think the biggest difference between white dudes and black dudes were the compliments. Yeah. I don't know if you dated a black guy, but if you dated a white one, you know they give the worst compliments I've ever heard in my life. Just terrible hype men, you know? Like any white dude I dated, the best I would ever get was just, oh, you look nice. I'm like, what are you, my fucking dad? Like...
No, he was critical. I would call him objective. That's what I would call him. So, no, he's not your dad. He was objective.
Come on, man, I tried, you know? Black dudes are so good at compliments they can take something you hate about yourself and make you love it. That's a skill. You can just show up and they'll be like, girl, that's cellulite? I'm like, stop. All right, you're making me blush. All right.
Was that supposed to be a positive for us? Black men give the best compliments. Yeah.
I'm really glad you guys were cool with that joke. I feel like the minute I say I dated a black dude, I get that look from black women like, Oh, another white girl taking our men. Okay. Another one taking our men. And I just want you guys to know, truly, he didn't commit to me either, sis. So, I didn't take anybody.
Uh-huh. A little bit of food for thought there. And you wonder why it is that little Naomi Osaka and all the rest of the beach bum cast-off broads think that they got a pass to thought it off in their 20s. And then they're going to circle back around in their 40s or their 50s. And she's going to bring you her passport panties. She's going to bring you her passport panties in her 40s or 50s. This isn't just one person. There's a reason why folks were sitting in there laughing. This isn't just one. This is what she was doing in her 20s. It's like, okay, well, she's getting her stamps on her passport. She's going to come to you with her stretch marks, her cellulite, her bad attitude, her mental and emotional imbalance, her congenital degenerate dishonesty, and tell you that this is what you need to have in your life. She's going to bring you the dregs. Think about this for a few moments. Right now, this is what Naomi Osaka is hoping to do. She's hoping that she can go ahead and it doesn't matter what sexual adventuring she does in her 20s. In her 40s or 50s, she's going to circle back around. There will be some dorky doofus who's going to sit up here and, ooh, finally I get my chance. And that guy is going to be like, oh boy, I get to finally, I had to wait after Corday, but I get my shot finally to get to be with Osaka. Finally, I get my chance to do that. And he's going to get with her. And he's going to be trying to talk to her. And he's going to be asking, by the way, whatever happened to your tennis career? So let me get this straight. You're going to wait all these decades after she's been run through and run over. You're going to come to her with all of the work that you've been putting in while she was letting Corday and whoever else sit up here and smack it, flip it, and everything else. And you're going to be asking, by the way, what do I get? You are going to come to her with 20 years of appreciated value. She's going to come to you with 20 years of depreciation. And if she truly believes that she's going to get a pass and that you are going to give her credit as if she has appreciated in value, that's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. However, you might disagree. Therefore, the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. Let me get caller from area code 813. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Jason. This is Josh from Tampa.
Josh from Tampa. What's on your mind?
Yeah, when you said that, somebody lied to them, I got a personal story on that. My mom was a single mom, and my grandma told her that God's going to put a man in your life to help you raise your son. And, 28 years later, didn't happen. But she believed it, though.
Okay. Your grandmother told your mom that basically it was okay for your mom to become a single mom.
Basically, yeah.
And she told her,
and she thought that
she
one
told
day,
her that on religious grounds.
Yes, religious grounds.
So your grandmother literally told your mom, don't worry, God's got you.
Yep, and mom was just, I remember she'd be, like you said, she'd be real disrespectful to the, a couple of decent dudes she dated. Because I think in the back of her head, she believed, when all said and done, he's gonna come in my life. My mom told me, so, he's coming. He's on the way.
How'd that turn out?
Not good. But yeah, so I can attest to that. It's funny, when you said that, I immediately thought about that. And I immediately, as an adult, looking back on it, I'm thinking about how crazy it is that my grandma would say that based on the circumstances.
Well, I guess my next question is, what were grandma's circumstances?
Grandma was crazy. She divorced my granddad basically after she tried to run him over with a car and pointed a gun at him. So grandma was pretty crazy.
Okay, well, people in glass houses I won't throw stones because people in glass houses shouldn't do that. So I won't criticize your grandfather too much over that one. But I will say one thing. Folks always want to sit up here and talk about back in the day how men were. Can we talk about how these women were back in the day? We want to talk about how what women had to put up with back in the day. Can we talk about what the men had to put up with back in the day? By the way, can we have a moment to speak about that? Maybe I'll do a program about that. With that being the case, though, brother, like I said, I mean, definitely she's showing what the pedigree is. She didn't want to take responsibility for the poisoning that she was doing. She didn't want to take responsibility for that. So she just told your mom everything's going to be all right. Now, was your mom an only child?
She was until she was like 12.
So she was an only child.
So she's like 12.
Yeah, so she basically was raised as an only child, because if you're raised as an only child for the first 12, 14 years of your life, you've basically grown up with no interaction with any siblings. So essentially, whatever's going to happen has already been done. So we can't acclimate you to dealing with other people. So your mom's viewpoint of the world is very selfish, very self-centered, very, me-centric, with the idea that the world is going to bend for her. That's the idea that she has, is the world's going to bend for her. And your grandmama treated her like it. Now she's out here in the real world trying to make that work, and how there she is now. Was she ever able to get married?
You said what?
Did she ever get married?
Nah, no, she never did. Nah.
Yeah, there's some fellas out there who dodged the damn bullet on that one. They dodged the bullet on that one. But think about that for a few moments. It's a sad commentary, because like I say, your mom's getting older now and stuff. And like, okay, now she's going to be leaning on you all the damn time. Try to take care of everything.
Right. So, yeah, I'm glad you're saying this, like, so the young women can kind of know, because I don't know who else is, told that stuff, but so they know the truth, that's ridiculous. That's just not the truth. You shouldn't live your life based on a lie like that.
Well, I'll give you a bigger thing to think about here, though, because there was a question that I posted on Facebook. I posted this question here earlier. It's a very simple question. Everyone watching here, I invite anybody to give me the name. I posted here this morning. Please name for me a man who increased his sexual market value by, number one, getting married, or number two, marrying a single mom. Because I was going to talk about Naomi tonight. Who is the man who's going to raise his sexual market value by taking Naomi or your mom or any of the never-ending list of clones out there? Who's the guy who's like, hey, this is going to make me more valuable? Because that's the question that really matters. I'll let you have the last word.
Right. So it's not going to be a very big pool.
And everyone who's in the pool, those are going to be the cast-offs that nobody really wanted. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Let's be very, very clear. The fellows who have options, why would he go for such an entangled, problematic situation if you got options? So he's a guy who doesn't have options. Now you're going to find out the options he doesn't have. It's a very simple question I ask, folks. Very simple question. Please name for me a man who has raised his sexual market value. He was able to get more women to desire to be with him, either by getting married to anybody or by marrying a single mom. That there were women who said, boy, I never really considered getting with you before, but once I saw that you married a single mom, why, I said, I gotta get with him. How many times have you all seen that happen? To Ando Agiami or Ando Agiam, Agamang, thank you very much for your very first super chat here. She's been questionable mentally. Yeah, I mean, she's had some issues before now, and that's what I'm saying. She's probably dynamite in bed. Fellas got to understand, chicks who got problems, they want to figure out how to permanently lock you into those problems. She wants company. Matter of fact, she's going to demand it. Caller from area code 415. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Denise in San Francisco.
Denise in San Francisco, what's on your mind?
Well, I do appreciate your programs, and I tell men and women, whether they agree with you or not, they should be listening and learning. Okay? Now, like I said, I'm among the few women I know that read books on male psychology, relationships, and interested in going into seminars dealing with the subject matters. And I tell women that, and they get pissed off at me. And I say to them, well, wait a minute, you haven't had any successful relationships. Boom, they get mad again. Then I said, look, it's time to learn. And they get mad, won't speak to me for I don't know how many weeks. But I appreciate your show.
Well, you know what? I'd like to address that, what you just said there. Okay, successful relation. Can we define, first and foremost, what is a quote-unquote successful relationship?
I personally see it as a relationship where you really got somebody that you're compatible with. A lot of times we're in these relationships, we're not compatible from the beginning. Okay, we can talk, we can support each other. We're both going in very mature, with our eyes open, and we're able to give and receive support. To me, that's a successful relationship to start off with. And other factors come in, because stuff like race, age, cultures, and religions, those can be time bombs in relationships. But first, you start off by just trying to get a compatible person. Try to get somebody you can talk with and interact with. Y'all ain't got to be in the bed every 2 seconds. You're really in there taking it slow. Just begin to see if you're compatible. Can you give and receive support? Can you try to understand the person? Can that person understand you?
Okay. Well, you know what?
I think that's the beginning.
I certainly think that could be. Let me go ahead and make this an opportunity to discuss misconceptions of what is a quote-unquote successful relationship. Folks, there are people out there who would have you believe that a successful relationship is two people being together or being married for an extended number of years. All your female dating gurus, that's all they tell them. Basically, their advice to females is find a guy, handcuff him, and figure out how to keep you two under the same roof for 2 or 3 decades. That is the benchmark and the metric of a quote-unquote successful relationship. Is two people being...
Sounds like hell to me.
Well, you know what? I mean, if the standard is simply, well, he and I were quote-unquote together, we were married that number of years, that's what those folks will tell you. This is why young females don't really listen to older females, or the advice they get from older females is bad. Because in the chat room, you nailed it there. Where's the relationship going? Where is it going? If your situation and circumstances with the person that you're with is exactly the same 10 years from now that it is today, your relationship is a failure. Simply cohabitating with, being married to, or being in a quote-unquote committed relationship to somebody for an extended period of time, that's just a long-term failure. Because a relationship is supposed to have progress. A relationship is supposed to have development. A stagnant relationship is a failed relationship. How many of you consider your jobs to be failures? They're failures if you got fired from it, or if you stayed there and nothing ever changed, nothing ever improved, nothing ever got better. When you're with somebody, the relationship isn't a success if you're in the same place 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years later, you right where you were 20 years ago. The only difference is you're both 20 years older. Everything that you have is, and that the other person doesn't enhance that. That your life is everything it would be whether they were there or whether they weren't. If a person is inconsequential to, if you got somewhere 10 years from now, but the person you're with is inconsequential in that equation, that's a failed relationship. You would consider that to be a failed job. You would consider that to be a failed mechanic. You consider that to be a failed home contractor or a failed banker or a failed CPA. If your finances are exactly where they are 10 years from now, where they were 10 years ago, you would consider that person to be a failure, whether it's a professional relationship, economic relationship, business relationship, mechanical relationship, you'd call that a failure. And yet you got folks out here trying to convince you that their failed relationships are in fact successes. It would be better for you. You want to know what a successful relationship is? A successful relationship, ladies, is a man who, when you met him, you had a 650 credit score, and when he got done with you, you had an 850. Even if you two were only, quote unquote, together for 3 years, you had a successful 3-year relationship. Meanwhile, Will and Jade have been slugging it out for damn near 3 decades now, and she just blew up his finances. That is a successful relationship. That chick down the street been with her dude for 20 years. He's been carrying her and dragging her for 20 years. His finances, his life, his status are exactly where they were when he met her. Actually, they're worse. You've been with a fella for 3 years and you've been upgraded. That's a successful relationship. The idea that it's only successful if it's long. You know what else is long? A prison stint. That's long.
Well, I also consider the relationship as heading for failure if both parties see each other as walking, talking wallets. I think those type of relationships are already heading for failure. I think if you two can build and enhance each other financially, that's more successful than just starting off seeing a person as a walking, talking wallet.
Well, let me go ahead and elaborate on what you just said. There are a bunch of fellas out there and a bunch of dumbass females. They're taking advice from women who are telling you about a man financially taking care of you. Let me tell you something. You are listening to a female liar if she cannot tell you specifically what it is that she financially invests in the relationship. If you ask her about what has she financially invested and she can't tell you what it is that she is investing financially in the man that she's with, I'm telling you, you're dealing with a liar, a fool, a thief, or all the above. Because let's be clear about something. Every female listening to me right now tonight, she would work 2 damn jobs and just be happy to be dating Michael B. Jordan. She would pay for her own plane tickets, her own apartment. Hell, she paid for his just to be dating him. She sees value. Meanwhile, she's telling you that you have to sit up here and pay for her whole damn life and she can sit around and do nothing. Fellas, I want you to understand, she's not saying that because you're not Michael B. Jordan. She's saying that because she doesn't value you. She's telling you in a roundabout way, I don't value you. Recognize when women use these cliches of contempt. So when a woman does not financially invest in the man that she's with, she's always she'll talk about him spending money, but she won't talk about what she spends on him. She's telling you, I don't value him. I don't value you. I'm here to take what I can get. Now, when you talk about when they see each other as walking wallets, well, we practically never see that for the females, but I will tell you one thing. What you're saying is that when you objectify each other, your man is more than a wallet and your female is more than a layup. She's supposed to be presenting value. If the biggest value, when you're dealing with a chick who's trying to get over, because when she discusses value, she constantly discusses sex. Just sex. She doesn't say that her value can be monetized. Hey, here's the dollar value that I present to the man I'm with. She only talks about sex, cooking, and cleaning as if that has value. She's telling you, by the way, I'm living by whorehouse rules. A lot of you fellas need to ask the chicks you with, by the way, was your mama or your grandmama ever a whore? Just to find out. Just for Breckenridge. But your female is supposed to have value beyond that. You're supposed to be able to specifically say what the value is that she adds when she ain't in bed. And fellas, cooking and cleaning ain't value. That's a given. That's just like a woman saying that her man wouldn't let other men grab her on the ass. That's supposed to be a given. Cooking and cleaning is a given. She lives in the damn house and she eating there too. That's supposed to be a given. What else is she doing? A lot of fellas have allowed these folks to give them non-answers and then letting whacked out psychos and weirdos on YouTube and Instagram and everything else mislead you and tell you that your woman doesn't have to contribute anything tangible except the same set of drawers she gave you when she walked in the door. If your masculine value is supposed to increase, your woman's feminine value is supposed to increase. How is it that a man's masculine value is supposed to get higher every year, but his woman's feminine value decreases every year? This brings us back to the damn me weight loss journey. Oh man, look here, I got to read the mail. Fellas, it is the ultimate sign of contempt if your broad is on her damn weight loss journey, year 5. She is showing you she does not have respect for you, but also she's showing you that you're a sucker and a fool because you are her fool. You were supposed to make sure that she was ready and together when you got with her. Because fellas, whatever condition that chick is in, when you make a long-term commitment, you get a baby, you get a marriage, this what you gonna get. How can you expect her to work 3 times harder after you've married her than she worked before? She's like, hey, if this was good enough to marry, I ain't got to do nothing else. Here you are, nigga, year 10, weight loss journey, Layla Rashawn, here you come. But she's going to be telling you that, oh, you have to maintain this trajectory of productivity that when I met you, you got to keep giving me that. You got to keep caking me off for that. But what I give you isn't equal to what you're giving me. Not only that, it's getting lower every year. Fellas, you got trick bagged. There's a bunch of dudes listening to me right now. You got babies. Some of y'all are getting married. Nigga, you done bought the house. You've bought the house. Forget buying the farm. You bought the house. You bought the house for a size 10 that you thought was going to go back to a size 6, and now she's a size 16. Now, you still have a mortgage. You still have a mortgage. She's got your ongoing productivity. You never fell off. You still have a mortgage, and her value and contribution has decreased. That's why.
I hope men and women are listening to you.
Does that sound like a successful relationship, fellas? Does that sound like you succeeded? That your success is, well, I stayed in the relationship? Because let me tell y'all something. When women don't get what they want, nigga, they couldn't bait. It doesn't matter. Everything she ever told you, she's going to throw that out in a day. Hell, she's going to throw it out in a minute. If she's not getting what she wants, she'll be looking you in the eye as she's sitting up here mentally and emotionally packing her things. Women don't sit around waiting for men to get together or sitting around letting men give excuses like that. First opportunity she has, oh, that's it, nigga. You done had your chance. You've had your chance. So just understand, when we talk about a walking wallet, you can't be one-dimensional. That's very, very true. But both people need to be contributing valuable tangibles to the relationship. And folks, when you're talking to somebody and they can't tell you what the tangible is they're giving, the most they allude to is sex. It's like, no. What are you actually offering? Just recognize you're probably listening to a parasite. You're probably listening to a parasite. And there's a bunch of females out here who think that is a successful relationship. Hey, I trapped this nigga and I've been juicing him ever since. That I succeeded. Well, she succeeded in what she wanted. I just don't know if he is. I'll let you have the last word.
Well, I just want to say men and women need to hear this, whether they agree or not, and they need to listen and learn. If they could do that, they could probably start beginning to have more successful relationships. And thank you.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Yeah, a lot of folks are under misconceptions about what exactly it is that constitutes a successful relationship. And by the way, you all notice I didn't just confine that to male, female, or sexual. I told you it's whether your job, your mechanic, your CPA, the home remodeler, your landscaper. Those standards I gave you and those metrics I gave you, those apply to everyone. That's how you know you're not being taken advantage of. A successful relationship isn't simply measured by the length of the relationship. You can have a quote unquote brief relationship that is successful. Inversely, you can have a long-term relationship that is a complete failure. You just stayed in a failure for a long time. Your ability to suffer, your willingness to suffer, your willingness to be exploited, taken advantage of, made a fool of, benefits extracted from you while you get nothing in return, that doesn't make you a hero. It makes you a fool. Naomi Osaka is now worse than she was 2 years ago. She's in a worse situation than she was 2 years ago. Her career has been put on hold during a period of her life where she can't afford that. Folks, she's been sitting on the shelf now for over a year. Or at least she's been sitting on the shelf now for at least a year. I'm pretty sure over a year now. She's been sitting on the shelf. She's not in the championship hunt. She doesn't make anything happen. This is during her prime years. Do you really think she's going to be a better athlete at 28 than she is at 26? And during the time period when she could have been pursuing that, it would be different if she had been pursuing a guy who was built to last and built to lead. But she gave up her prime years as an athlete for what? For what? What did she give it up for? Okay, fine. I'm not going to jump in front of her right to have children or have a family if she wants to. She's got neither. She had a tennis career. Well, she put that on hold. And is there anybody who thinks that she's going to be in a better headspace a year from now to play tennis than she is today? She's going to have a kid to think about. Serena got pregnant. Next thing you know, she's like, I got to wind down my tennis career after 2 decades. How many folks think that Naomi's priority is going to be tennis? How many folks think that her priority is really going to be tennis after this? How many folks think she's really going to be trying to figure out how she can be the best tennis player in the world now? How many of you think that she's really sitting around and she's going to be that's going to be her priority? Well, guess what? The folks who lied to her about thotting it up, those are going to be the same. Those are the same folks who can't play a lick of tennis who will be telling her, well, don't worry, you can be a mom and a superstar athlete all at once. You can have it all. All these chicks talking about you can have it all and ain't none of them got half of it. You can have it all. Well, you can't have your tennis career. Now you don't have the dude because you got disenchanted with that. You have a baby, so narcissistic dream fulfilled. Now you're going to be spending the next 10, 15 years trying to demonize Corday, trying to get the tennis world to overlook this, trying to see if you can market your name, but you can't market your name if you're not winning. You see, your name is only marketable and valuable as long as you're succeeding. This is why men cannot really retire. As men, we lose value in 2 areas in life. We lose value if we get married. Oh yeah, I said it. A man loses sexual marketplace value when he gets married because now he has increased his value to one woman. He's destroyed his value to all the others. So he's lost value, but you also lose value when you stop working, because the only place you can be competing and succeeding is if you're out there in the arena. You got to still be getting wins under your belt. As soon as you stop doing that, now you're useless overall. That's it. You stagnated. Whatever you are is all you're going to be. A man has to watch out for those two things. For a female, she's glad to walk you into both of those because that leaves you vulnerable and helpless, and now you're chained to her. Well, that's a win for her, but is it a win for you? Naomi thought that having the baby would put the same constraints on Corday that it puts on her. No, it doesn't. He lets you have custody of the baby. You feel like you winning. He goes off and pursues his rap career, gets 2 or 3 other slutty thoughts pregnant. Because, well, at this point right now, if you got one baby mama, in for a penny, in for a pound. So now he's going to be like, that's cool. Let me go get 2, 3 others pregnant. You sitting there with baby number 1. You've got sole custody of a loser's baby. Now you're going to try to figure out how you and your mom can juggle this kid and your tennis career. And you all know how this goes. She's not going to want to stop with one baby, because now she's going to be pursuing this idea that, oh, hell, I ruined my name. It's dirty in the streets. I need to become a wife. So now she's going to try to get back out there and go see if she can have 2 or 3 more, go lock down some guy, see if I can go get 2 or 3 more. So she will not be happy with just one. That's not going to occur. She's going to want a do-over. So think about that for a few moments. Will she pull a Ciara? Ciara didn't pull a Ciara. Just understand that, folks. She's going to have to try to figure out how to get this corrected, which means she's going to be trying to pursue another man who now she's going to have to get a guy she's going to want somebody whose income is near hers, assuming she still has any. She's going to want a guy with status, and the first one who winks at her, if he's willing to give her the time of day, she's going to be like, hell, I got to go all in. Let me get another kid. Do you think her tennis career is ever going to recover now that you know that that's going to be her priority? Do you think she's ever going to recover with it being clear that that's going to become her priority now? Trying to figure out how to rectify her personal life. My daughter needs a stepdad. Well, her focus is going to be on that. She's going to give you all the life is bigger than tennis speech. Well, there's more to life than tennis. Do you think that her tennis career is ever going to recover if that becomes her focus? I got to get my tennis game. I got to get my home life together. I've had the baby, but I'm really interested in getting married. How is she going to be a superstar athlete and focus on marriage when you already got a kid? Something got to give. Hell, she couldn't focus on tennis once she got with this dude. Oh, hell, did I just sit there and say that?
And deal with it, nigga.
Remember, y'all, she started messing up in tennis in 2021. When did she get together with Corday? 2019. She started focusing on a man. Next thing you know, her tennis career went straight downhill. Shout out in the chat room, Too Short, and to everyone on Patreon. Looking forward to speaking to you all here tomorrow. But hey, the old hoes who never had a tennis career, they're going to tell Naomi that, girl, don't let nobody tell you that you can't have a baby and a tennis career. Why, I had 3 bastard kids when I went to go get my bachelor's degree. As if those are equivalent. As if that's anywhere nearly the same. She'll be sitting there listening to them. Hell, she's already listened to them. No, now she's telling herself it doesn't matter. I'm going to wait till the smoke clears and the heat dies down and this blows over, and we'll see if I can go back and get me another fellow who'll take me off the market in 10, 15 years. And now she's going to tell herself we might as well go ahead and thought it up, because at 26, she's now trying to calculate how many years she's going to have to raise this kid. Now she's going to start focusing on calculating that. How long will it be before this kid's out the house? Then let me see if I can start over again. And the killing part is most of the females on the internet listening, they're not even near her level. They're not even near her level. Talking the same. They're Pookie parents. And they're perfectly fine to sit up here and tell her that's a great idea, instead of everybody having a collective shriek and saying, oh, hell, that's it. But I also want to leave the ladies with a thought here tonight. Ladies, if y'all want to know why it is that most of the males today don't respect the females, I want y'all to take a look at this. This is Naomi Osaka, had her whole life ahead of her. She was supposed to be better than this. She was supposed to be smarter than this. She was supposed to be slicker than this. She was supposed to be the little quiet little half and half chick over there. And take a look. Everything in the world telling her not to do this, and take a look. She thinks that this is what men deserve, that this is okay. I'm going to come walking up to high quality men at 26 years old with some mushroom mama's boy's baby. I want the ladies to think about that for a few moments here. Right now, this is what the men are confronted with. That someone like Naomi Osaka, who should have been she's had the world at her feet, or at least she had extraordinary opportunities, and she gave it all away for what? What did she get of equivalent value? She's an international name, and she felt like thotting it up in her 20s was more important. Yeah, I could focus on tennis and becoming a legend, but I got thotting to do here. So let me do that. You want to know why it is that I advise young men that you need to give it 3 or 4 years before you even think about, even if she checks all the boxes and she's a model citizen, you still got to give that 3 or 4 years. Corday knew this was a problem after year 1. Still messed around and got her pregnant. Now he's a part of her psycho opera. And in her case, she is a waste of opportunity. Naomi Osaka in her mid-20s, she's supposed to be that it girl. She's supposed to have everything laid out. She's supposed to have the highest quality men in the world trying to talk to her by the time she's 28. She's supposed to have surpassed Lori Harvey in the light skin sweepstakes. And instead, she's going to be carrying a mama's boy's baby, running around with Brittany Renner, talking back crap crazy, trying to tell everyone about all the great options she's gonna have. And eventually the best she's gonna be able to do is go grab some beta cuck simp in 10, 15 years. Some fellow who, his runway is already run out. Nothing like what she had the ability to do. And she'll have to come back later and tell everybody, oh, well, I enjoyed it and I meant to do that. Why, I'm not missing anything. Everything's just fine. Why, no, I didn't have to have some guy who had real opportunities. Didn't really need to have that. This is a woman who is going to be looking for a man who can change her life. And now she can't even change her own. I want the women to think about that right now. This is what you're dealing with females who, if somebody like Naomi Osaka is willing to throw it all away so that she can have her turn in the run-through rodeo, she's willing to throw all of this away so that she could get down in the gutter with the hood rats and indulge in gutter sex. That was more valuable to her than her tennis career. This is what young men in their 20s or their 30s or now their 40s are dealing with out here. This is the caliber of female we're talking about. That even someone like Naomi Osaka, where it's obvious what she should do, and she said, yeah, but I'm gonna miss my whole years. Oh, can't do that. Can't do that. No, I want to become a baby mama so I can get a baby daddy so we can just hang out and come mess up each other's lives. That's what I want. Yeah, the same garbage that the hoes and hood rats and the projects are dealing with. Yeah, I want to have that excitement. I want that. Damn this tennis career. Think about that for a few moments. If Naomi Osaka, if you got a female like Naomi Osaka who doesn't appreciate the life that her vocation was giving her, what the heck? You mean to tell me she's going to appreciate an 8-figure man if she could actually get one? You mean to tell me she's going to appreciate that? She didn't appreciate the life of a superstar athlete. You mean to tell me she is going to appreciate? So she didn't appreciate doing that for herself, but she's going to appreciate it if you sacrifice $10 million of value for her. She'll appreciate that. No, she didn't appreciate this over here, but she'll appreciate it if you sacrifice that. Right? Now imagine what the average 22, 23, 24-year-old black male is encountering on the college campuses, at the job, at the career seminars. You imagine what they're having to wade themselves through this sea of garbage, this sea of psychoses. He's going to sit up here and he's focusing on his value. And she's like, yeah, I need you to do that so you can take care of little Buckshot and little Ray Ray. And at best, I will see if I can integrate them into your gene pool. But I need you to be responsible so that I can be irresponsible. That's how they see competent males today. Females in their 20s, even the so-called smart ones, they got a degree in one hand and they hoe house behavior in the other, and they want you to be responsible so that she can be irresponsible. You need to be the adult so that she can be the overgrown child. You need to make sure that you've got something to lose so that she can give up what she got and then come squander yours without missing a beat. This is what young men in their 20s are dealing with here today. Folks, just think about that for a few moments. Naomi Osaka would have been a 26-year-old Tia Mowry. If Corday wasn't a bum-ass nigga, she would have sat up here and left him early. She would have left him early. You're not exciting enough. You're not reckless enough. A fella who ain't on the bull crap, she would have left him early. He never would have made it 4 years. She would have done him like Megan Good did her dude, like Lori Harvey did Michael B. Jordan. If he were a straight-laced fella who was focused and on his business and not reckless and stupid, she would have left him early. They never would have made it 4 years. They never would have made it 4 years. Even with all the tools in place. So, ladies, if you want to know why it is that a lot of these young males today are approaching you with that kind of contempt, take a look at the Naomi Osakas and the Ciaras, and I can go down the list. Opportunity is wasted on them. For the average 20-something female today, opportunity is wasted on them. It's just wasted. Any fellow who gets with her, he's going to be getting a whole lot less than she is. How many fellas do you think are watching this and they're like, ooh, hell, let me go ahead and see about sacrificing my freedom? Let me see if I can do that. While she's being told, well, don't worry, live however you want to. God's got you and there'll be a bailout. And if these other fellas don't appreciate it, don't worry about that. Somebody's going to show up to bail you out at some point. Then she sees who it was who showed up to bail her out and is like, ooh, this right here. Well, I guess I got to make the most of it. Now you're the fella who she's just making the most to be in with you. What a waste. What a waste. Naomi Osaka, I won't even mince words with you. What a waste. What a waste. What a waste of opportunity. What a waste of ability. What a waste. There are a bunch of other females out there who wish they had the pedigree and the opportunities and the ability. Wish they could do that. What a waste. What's the point? We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. If you are new here to the business, welcome to the program that all your favorite YouTubers love to hate watch. Click that red subscribe button, click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we are here. If you're not a member of our Patreon, the link is in the description. We do this every weekend, 12 noon Central Time. You are, of course, invited to join us. Got some things I want to see about doing here, which I will be giving some details on here tomorrow. So keep your eyes and your ears open. I want to thank all of you for joining us for tonight's program. Thank you to Project Leroy and everyone else who has contributed live here on Super Chat, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Thank you all for tuning in. And this concludes this broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, handle your business or your business will handle you.